Hey guys, how's it going? This is Ethan with Obsidian Funnels, where book jobs is our only performance indicator. Welcome to the local audit, where we're going to choose one random local business every week where we can give them actionable insights and tips on how to rank higher with local SEO. So without further ado, let's get straight into this video. So let's get into the first audit. So I'm thinking we should go for something like a pretty big niche here, and a pretty big city, just so we can kind of see why someone would be ranking right below that top 3 position. So I'm going to be looking for, let's say, plumbers in Chicago. Let's search that up and let's see what we get. So I'm not getting any business profile. Let's search up Chicago, Illinois. There we go. All right. So let's look at the top 3 first. We'll kind of do a little bit of competitor analysis. Nothing too crazy here, but let's just look at the top 3. So we have Rescue Plumbing. We have First Chicago Plumbing, and then we have Goody Plumbing. I don't know why this is not loading, which is kind of bothering me, but it's all right. So Rescue Plumbing is doing number 1. They have 1,200 reviews. And then we have First Chicago Plumbing, and then we have Goody Plumbing. Goody Plumbing actually has more reviews than both of these guys. So my question is, how is First Chicago Plumbing in here, right? Because they have only 243 reviews. So how are they actually ranking in the second? So the only reason that I think, like, right off the bat, is just because they have an exact match here, almost an exact match. It's like a phrase match where it says Chicago Plumbing. So when someone searches up Chicago Plumber, this guy's going to pop up since it's a match. But that's the reason. So I think as our client, we'll say we're going to be using Rocket Plumbing just because they're right below these top 3. And so we want to figure out what they can do to actually get on that map pack. Okay, guys, so now that we're on his website, we're just going to quickly look over it and just make sure that everything is working. So like the H1s, title tags, meta descriptions, stuff like that. I'm going to be using a Chrome extension called Detail SEO. It's pretty great. It shows you everything that you need to look at, and it's pretty nice UI as well. So we're going to be using that. First thing that I'm seeing is fast, reliable plumbing in Chicago handled by local experts. That's pretty good. Their H1 is basically saying that there are fast, reliable plumbers in Chicago. Now, the problem that I'm seeing here is in their title tag, right? You see Rocket Plumbing, and then you see expert plumbers in Chicago. It shouldn't be like that. It should be expert plumbers in Chicago and then Rocket Plumbing. You always want to put the keyword before the name, right? So also I would take out and Lombard, Illinois. You should choose one. Are you choosing Chicago or are you choosing Lombard? I don't know if Lombard's an inner city from Chicago. I don't really know too much about it, but you should choose one. Expert plumbers in Chicago or expert plumbers in Lombard. Next, meta description is fine. The only thing I'll really pay attention to is if the city name is in there and if they have a call to action. As long as they do and it's under 160 words, then I'm fine with it. 160 characters, sorry. URL, you can't even change the URL for Rocket Plumbing, so we're just going to keep that. Headings, we're just going to look at the headings. Let's just make sure there's only one H1. I'm not going to really go too deep into this, but one thing I'll see here is there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 H2s right in the beginning. You should not have that. You should only have maybe like not in a row for sure. So we should take out we should definitely take out the number as a H2. You could just keep that as normal text. You can also have, let me see here. You can request a quote should not be an H2. It doesn't need to be an H2. Chicago's local plumbing experts, you can keep that. Call us now. You don't need that. And then this you can keep as well. So that's just something I'm looking at. Links, you got 250 total links. Unique, you have 65. Internal, 194. 21 external links. So that's pretty good. Let's just quickly look at the anchors, just a couple of them. So plumbers near me is linking to a residential anchor. So that's not good. This should be linking to a page that's about residential plumbing. And also I would just have it as an exact match anchor. So it should be residential plumbing linking to a residential plumbing page. For example, they have emergency plumber here and then emergency plumber is the anchor. So that's good. Now I will even go a step more, which I'm going to show in a second, but it should be emergency plumber in Chicago. And I'll go into that in a second. Schema, let's just see if they have local business schema here, which they don't. Not as what I'm seeing. They just have regular web page schema. So I'd go ahead and add in that local business schema as well. If I just scroll down, you see here you have emergency plumber services, you have residential plumber services, you have commercial service plumber, and then you have Rocket Shield maintenance plans. So let's see here. So let's just click on a random one. Let's click on residential and let's click on commercial, right? So this is what I don't understand. Residential plumber services is linking to plumbers near me. This doesn't make sense. So you should create a residential page, which you probably do have. No, it's just plumbers near me. So that doesn't make sense. Make sure that you actually have a residential plumber page. So plumbers near me, I mean, maybe it's generating you traffic, but you should definitely have both pages. And one should be residential, of course. And then we can look at commercial plumbers here. So we see expert commercial plumbing, Chicago and Naperville area. So right off the bat, I would tell you just make it commercial plumbing in Chicago and not Chicago and Naperville. You want to target one keyword. And then you can also create the Naperville and the other cities as extended service pages, service city pages. So that's the number one thing I'll change here. Let's just look here. So again, we see commercial plumbing, Chicago and Lombard. So it doesn't even match with the H1, which doesn't make sense at all. So make sure that it's just targeting one city and make sure that it actually matches. So at least they put the name after. Rocket Plumbing provides, so all of this is very long, 201 characters. You don't want that. So I just put Rocket Plumbing provides expert plumbing services in Chicago, period. And then we offer commercial plumbing repair, maintenance, and sewer drain and line replacement services. Call us now today. Call us today. And that should be the meta description. So you should change that. Also, the URL should be commercial plumbing in city. It shouldn't just be commercial plumbing. And that's that. Let's look at the headings real quick. They only have one H1 and then the rest is H2s, which doesn't make sense. You should have better setup. I would just kind of restructure this a little bit. I'm not saying that it's going to change the whole ranking and everything, but I'd say it will restructure better. And that's just one thing I would change. Let's go back here and let's look at whatever Rocket Shield maintenance plans are. Honestly, I wouldn't even have this linked in this page here. I would honestly just have either these three or set it up another way. And then let's look at emergency plumber services here. So we have your emergency plumbing experts in Chicago, emergency plumbing in Chicago done right the first time. So before I even get into this, one thing I'll tell you is each of these pages should just be kind of like a remodel of the homepage. So it should just be, these should all look like this. And then instead of this saying fast, reliable plumbing, it would be like emergency plumbing in Chicago, right? And so it all looks very similar. And then you can obviously change the content. Now, all of these pages look very, very different. So which is what I don't understand. Definitely I would work on that. Anyways, let's look at the detailed SEO extension. So title, very short, and this also doesn't make sense. So emergency plumber, we should also add in Chicago, right? Anyways, description is fine. I would add in a call to action over here, and I would also change the URL to emergency plumber in Chicago. Now let's look at the headings. I don't understand these headings either. So how is the H1 emergency plumbing services if this is your emergency plumbing experts in Chicago? So I would honestly restructure this whole page again. I don't even have to look at the rest just to say that I would want to restructure it. And definitely, like, if we just look here, right, we have 2 H1s, 17 H2s, H3s. So I would just honestly want to fix it up a little bit, just make sure it looks better. And then, yeah, I'm not going to go into the rest that much. This is basically just the things that I would change on the website. Now, what we can do here is we can just quickly go to pagespeed.web.dev, and then I'm just going to plug in their website here. All right, so right off the bat, we see a very bad performance indicator for mobile. I would fix this automatically. Desktop does not really matter that much. Mobile is the most important. 57 for best practices and 52 for performance. I guarantee with just a couple of changes, this can be fixed very easily. So definitely fix this. Definitely go ahead and fix that, especially for mobile. That's the most important. And also, I'm seeing a whole different page for mobile here. So this is how it looks on mobile versus this is how the page looks on desktop. So I'm just very confused on what's going on here. I think if you just honestly work on the website here a little bit, clean it up, make sure that everything is connected and internally linked the right way, then you can definitely push past those rankings. And I think that you can definitely get past these top 3 people. Anyways, what I would lastly continue doing is I would go here, go through our local SEO checklist, just make sure that all of this is completed. And then also I would go get our home service resources, and then grab our Google profile optimization checklist, and then just go through the Google profile optimization checklist as well. If you guys want these home service resources, go down in the description below and you can just put in your email and you'll get a list of these. We're adding more and more resources every week, 1 to 2 resources a week. We just added how to track marketing ROI. You can go ahead, click on that, and you'll get the whole guide. So yeah, if you guys want more videos like this where we audit different companies and we show, what the baseline of the issues are, what to do quickly to get better rankings, please go ahead and subscribe. And also, if you want to be featured in the next one, go ahead and message us via email. And lastly, every video will basically have a wider focus on one specific part of SEO. So here we were mainly focused on page SEO, like looking at H1 tags, stuff like that. Next one, we might look at like backlink profile, Google profile optimization, all of the different stuff. So each episode, you'll be learning something new. I don't want to make this repetitive and stuff like that. But yeah, have a great day. See you guys.